Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. Today, we're diving into the best RPGs you can play on your Nintendo Switch right now. Whether you're into classic turn-based combat, action RPGs, or massive open worlds, this list has something for every RPG fan. Let's jump right into it. Super Mario RPG takes Mario into turn-based combat territory, with a surprisingly deep story about stopping a weapon-obsessed villain named Smithy, who's trying to take over the world. You'll team up with Princess Peach, Bowser, and some new faces as you travel across the Mushroom Kingdom collecting star pieces to repair the Star Road. The combat system uses timed button presses during attacks and defenses to deal extra damage or reduce incoming hits, keeping you actively engaged instead of just selecting menu options. You can equip different weapons and accessories to customize each character's abilities, and the Flower Points system works like magic points for special moves. The game mixes platforming exploration with battles, hidden secrets, and minigames throughout. The remaster adds quality of life improvements and updated visuals, while keeping the original's charm intact. Boss fights require you to learn patterns and time your blocks perfectly, and there's a good variety of enemies that keep things interesting. It runs smoothly on Switch in both handheld and docked modes, making it perfect for quick play sessions or longer adventures. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen puts you in a fantasy world where a dragon attacks your village and literally rips your heart out, marking you as the Arisen, someone destined to hunt the dragon down. The story explores themes of fate and sacrifice as you uncover why the dragon chose you and what being Arisen really means. The combat system is action-based, with a class system that lets you switch between fighter, mage, ranger, and hybrid classes, each with completely different playstyles and abilities. Your main companion is a pawn, a customizable AI partner you create and develop. Plus, you can recruit 2 more pawns from other players online. The climbing mechanic lets you grab onto large monsters and attack weak points while hanging on, creating intense battles against griffins, cyclops, and dragons. You'll explore a large open world filled with dungeons, bandit camps, and dangerous creatures that become more aggressive at night. The Dark Arisen expansion adds a challenging post-game dungeon called Bitterblack Isle, with tough enemies and better loot. Character progression is deep, with tons of skills to unlock and equipment to find. The Switch version maintains smooth performance and includes all DLC content from the start. Kingdom Come Deliverance drops you into 1403 Bohemia as Henry, a blacksmith's son whose village gets destroyed by an invading army, forcing him into a quest for revenge and justice in a realistic medieval world. The story follows Henry as he joins the service of a local lord and gets caught up in the political conflicts of the time, with choices that actually affect how events play out. This game doesn't use fantasy elements. Combat is based on real medieval sword fighting, with directional attacks and blocks, stamina management, and the need to maintain your equipment. You'll need to eat regularly, sleep to stay alert, and even bathe to keep NPCs from avoiding you because you smell bad. The skill system improves through use. The more you fight with swords, the better you get at it. Same with lockpicking, archery, and speech. Side quests are well written and often have multiple solutions depending on your skills and choices. You can approach situations through combat, stealth, or talking your way through problems.
Very good. All right. All right. Good. Once again. Good, good. Let's try something else. One strike, I can fend off about a sweat. But if you chain your strikes, I'll have a much harder time. As soon as you land one blow, follow it with...
The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure continues directly after Trails from Zero, following Lloyd Bannings and the Special Support section as they deal with increasing threats to Crossbell State, a small, independent nation caught between two superpowers. The story builds on everything from the previous game, with political intrigue, conspiracies, and a cult planning something catastrophic, while also tying in to the larger Trails series storyline. Combat uses a turn-based system with a tactical grid, where positioning matters for area attacks and support abilities. The crafts and art system gives characters special attacks and magic spells, while the Master Quartz system lets you customize each character's abilities and stat growth. You'll spend time between story missions, taking on detective work, helping citizens, and building relationships with your team members through bonding events. The game has a day-by-day structure, where events unfold over time, creating a strong sense of place and connection to Crossbell City. Boss battles are challenging and require you to understand enemy patterns and use your team's abilities strategically.
私の番だな。
Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles reimagines one of the most beloved tactical RPGs with remarkable care. Set in the turbulent kingdom of Ivalice, the story follows Ramza Biove as he becomes entangled in noble conflicts, ancient legends, and questions of loyalty that challenge every moral line. Its gameplay remains as deep and rewarding as ever. Turn-based battles unfold on isometric maps where elevation, terrain, and clever positioning determine victory. The job system shines, offering dozens of classes and the freedom to blend abilities, crafting unique party builds that suit any tactical preference. This edition includes both a refined Enhanced mode with updated visuals, voiced dialogue, and a smoother interface, and a Classic mode that captures the charm of the original. The balance between nostalgia and modernization feels carefully struck, allowing veterans and newcomers alike to dive into its intricate design. For players who crave thoughtful strategy and world building that rewards patience and planning, this is a masterclass in tactical storytelling.
A good choice. This will suffice.
Feel my wrath!
Embrace inevitable end! Judgment Blade!
Bring sinners to account! Fight Roger!
The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, throws you into a frozen northern province where dragons have returned after thousands of years, and you discover you're the Dragonborn, someone who can absorb dragon souls and use their power through shouts. The main story has you learning why the dragons returned and stopping Alduin, the dragon prophesied to end the world. But the real appeal is the freedom to ignore that and do whatever you want. You can join the Companions, Warrior Guild, become an assassin with the Dark Brotherhood, enroll in the College of Winterhold to study magic, or join the Thieves Guild. Combat is first-person action, where you can use swords, bows, magic, or any combination in your left and right hands. The leveling system improves skills as you use them, and gives perk points to specialize your character however you like. The world is absolutely massive, with cities, towns, dungeons, caves, and ruins scattered everywhere, each with stories and loot to discover. You can buy houses, get married, adopt kids, and become a vampire or werewolf. The Switch version includes all 3 major DLC expansions. Dawnguard adds a vampire storyline, Dragonborn takes you to a new island, and Hearthfire lets you build custom homes. Performance is stable, and motion controls add a fun way to aim bows and cast spells.
Call yourself a gnome?
Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition takes place on planet Mira after humanity's escape from Earth, which was destroyed in an alien war. You play as a customizable character who joins Blade, an organization working to establish New Los Angeles and search for the Lifehold, a ship containing most of humanity in stasis. The story focuses on humanity's survival, first contact with alien species, and uncovering the mysteries of Mira itself. The combat system is real-time, with auto attacks and arts that you activate manually, plus soul voices that trigger team combos when you respond to teammate callouts correctly. Around 30 hours in, you unlock Skell's giant mechs you can pilot that completely transform exploration and combat, with flight capabilities and heavy weapons. The world is 5 massive interconnected continents, filled with wildlife, resources, and secrets, encouraging pure exploration. You can take on missions from the Belayed Terminal, with story missions pushing the plot forward, and side missions developing characters and expanding the world.
Upper hand! Shadow strike!
Pokémon Legends Arceus sends you back to the ancient Hisui region, which eventually becomes Sinnoh during a time when Pokémon and humans lived separately, and the idea of catching Pokémon was new and frightening. You're brought to this time mysteriously, and join the Galaxy Team Survey Corps to create the region's first Pokédex, while investigating space-time distortions appearing across the land. The gameplay breaks from traditional Pokémon by letting you catch Pokémon directly in the overworld, without random encounters. You can sneak through tall grass and throw Pokéballs in real time. Combat still uses turn-based battles, but adds a speed-based turn order system, where faster Pokémon can attack multiple times, and moves have strong style or agile style variants that trade power for speed, or vice versa. The main goal is filling Pokédex entries by completing research tasks, like catching multiples of a species, seeing them use specific moves, or catching them without being spotted. You'll explore large open zones filled with alpha Pokémon, larger, more aggressive versions of regular Pokémon that provide tough battles and better rewards. The Legend of Heroes, Trails from Zero, introduces you to Lloyd Bannings, who returns to his hometown of Crossbell to join the police force after his brother's death. He gets assigned to a new department called the Special Support Section, basically the Reject Squad, handling odd jobs nobody else wants. The story starts small, with helping citizens and solving local crimes, but gradually builds into political conspiracies involving mafia families, corrupt officials, and the 2 superpowers trying to control Crossbell. Combat is turn-based tactical with a grid system, where you move characters and use regular attacks, crafts, special character abilities, or arts, magic spells powered by orbments you equip. The orbment system lets you customize each character by slotting different elemental quartz that grant stat boosts and unlock arts based on combinations. Between main story chapters, you take on support requests from townspeople, which builds your team's reputation and lets you explore Crossbell City and the surrounding areas. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster packages, 2 classic RPGs, where recruiting 108 characters called the Stars of Destiny is central to the story and gameplay. The first game puts you as the son of a famous general who discovers the corrupt empire you serve is using a magical rune to control people, forcing you to lead a rebellion with a growing army of recruits. Suikoden 2 is darker, following a young mercenary caught in a war between city-states, while dealing with themes of friendship, betrayal, and the costs of conflict. Both games use traditional turn-based combat, but also feature large-scale army battles and one-on-one duels that play like rock, paper, scissors with psychological reads. The 108 stars system means you'll constantly find new characters to recruit. Some join through story events, others require completing side quests or meeting specific conditions. Your headquarters starts small but expands as more people join, adding shops, minigames, and services. Each character has unique abilities, and some can be used together for powerful Unite attacks in battle. The rune system works as this series' magic system, where you attach magical runes to characters to grant spells and stat changes. Lunar Remastered Collection brings back two beloved PlayStation classics, Silver Star Story and Eternal Blue. The first game follows Alex, a young adventurer inspired by his hero Dyne the Dragon Master, as he discovers an ancient evil threatening the world and must gather the power of the four dragons to stop it. Eternal Blue takes place 1,000 years later, with new hero Hero uncovering mysteries about Lunar's goddess Althena and facing a new, catastrophic threat. Both games use traditional turn-based combat, where positioning on the battlefield matters. Characters can only attack enemies within their movement range, so you'll need to think about placement each turn. The games feature random encounters as you explore dungeons and world maps, with experience points and equipment upgrades driving your progression. Between battles, you'll visit towns, talk to NPCs, and follow a linear story path, with anime cutscenes that were groundbreaking back in the day. The magic system uses MP for spells, and characters learn new abilities as they level up in set classes. This collection adds quality of life improvements, like adjustable encounter rates, auto battle options, and the ability to speed up or slow down gameplay. Fire Emblem Three Houses puts you in the role of a mercenary who becomes a professor at the Officers' Academy in Garrigmach Monastery, where you must choose to lead one of three houses: the Black Eagles, Blue Lions, or Golden Deer. Each house represents a different nation and has its own students with unique personalities and backstories, and your choice completely changes the story's second half, as political tensions explode into full-scale war. The first part of the game mixes teaching students by instructing them in different weapon types and skills, exploring the monastery to build relationships, and leading your class in monthly story battles. Combat is tactical turn-based on grid maps, where terrain, weapon types, and unit positioning determine success. Swords beat axes, axes beat lances, and lances beat swords in a weapon triangle system. Each student can be trained in different classes, like Cavalier, Mage, Archer, or Flyer, and you can customize their growth by focusing on specific skills during instruction. The calendar system gives you limited activity points each month to train students, complete side quests, or deepen bonds with characters through tea time and meals.
Good idea.
Sea of Stars follows two children of the solstice, Valir and Zale, who can wield sun and moon magic to fight against an alchemist creating monsters called Dwellers. The story takes you across floating islands, underwater cities, ancient ruins, and through time itself, as you gather allies and learn the truth about the world's creation and the cycle of Dwellers. Combat is turn-based, with timed button presses during attacks and defenses for extra damage or damage reduction, similar to Super Mario RPG or Paper Mario. The unique twist is that enemies show locks above them, representing their upcoming powerful attacks, and you need to hit them with specific magic types during your turn to break these locks and prevent the attack. There's no random encounters. All enemies are visible on the map and can be avoided or engaged at your choice. Your party members can use regular attacks that build up mana for special combo attacks between characters, and you can swap party members mid-battle without using a turn. Exploration involves light platforming, swimming, climbing, and solving environmental puzzles to find treasure chests and secret areas. The game has no experience grinding. You level up at set story points, keeping the pacing tight. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door sends Mario to the town of Rogueport, searching for Princess Peach, who's been kidnapped, while seeking a legendary treasure behind the Thousand Year Door. You'll collect 7 crystal stars hidden across different regions, while uncovering the dark history of an ancient civilization and the Shadow Queen sealed behind the door. Combat is turn-based with timed button presses. Hitting A at the right moment during attacks increases damage, and blocking with proper timing reduces incoming damage to almost nothing. The badge system lets you equip badges that use badge points to customize Mario's abilities, like adding new jump attacks, increasing HP, or causing status effects. Your partner characters fight alongside you, and each has unique abilities, both in battle and for solving puzzles in the overworld. Koops can be thrown to hit switches, Flurry can blow away barriers, and Yoshi can carry you across gaps. The audience mechanic has crowd members watching your battles who react to your performance, and you can appeal to them to restore star power used for special moves. Dark Souls Remastered drops you into the dying world of Lordran as an undead chosen to ring 2 Bells of Awakening, and potentially succeed Lord Gwyn to either continue or end the Age of Fire. The story is told mostly through item descriptions, environmental storytelling, and cryptic NPC dialogue that slowly reveals the tragedy of gods, kingdoms, and heroes who came before. Combat is methodical and punishing. You lock onto enemies and must manage stamina for attacks, blocks, and dodges, while learning enemy patterns and attack windows. Death is a core mechanic. When you die, you drop all your souls, the game's currency and experience, at that spot, and respawn at the last bonfire you rested at. And dying again before recovering those souls loses them forever. Bonfires serve as checkpoints that restore your health and Estus Flask healing charges, but resting also respawns all regular enemies in the area. You level up by spending souls at bonfires to increase stats like health, stamina, strength, or intelligence, allowing you to build toward different playstyles like heavy melee, magic caster, or nimble dexterity builds. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma takes the series to a Japanese-inspired setting, where you play as an amnesiac Earthmate who arrives in a land being consumed by a calamity that turns people and creatures into mindless monsters. You settle in the village of Azuma and work to restore balance by purifying corrupted areas, helping villagers, and uncovering your mysterious connection to the disaster. The game blends farming simulation with action RPG combat. You'll grow crops, raise monsters as livestock, craft equipment, cook meals, and build relationships with villagers during the day. Then explore dungeons fighting enemies in real-time combat at night. Combat uses stamina for attacks, dodges, and special abilities, with different weapon types like swords, spears, and hammers offering different attack patterns. You can tame monsters you've defeated to work on your farm, produce materials, or fight alongside you as companions. The farming system follows seasonal cycles where different crops grow in different seasons, and you'll expand your farm by clearing new land and building facilities. Crafting lets you forge weapons and armor, cook stat-boosting food, and create items for completing requests. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, expands on the original Fantasy Life with a story about mysterious time rifts appearing across Riveria, and a girl named Honoka who seems connected to them. You create a character and choose from 12 different life classes, like Paladin, Wizard, Blacksmith, Tailor, Angler, or Cook, each with completely different gameplay, focused on combat, crafting, or gathering. The hook is that you can switch between all lives freely and level each one independently. So you might spend the morning as a miner gathering ore, switch to blacksmith to forge weapons, then become a mercenary to test your new gear in combat. Combat is real-time action, where you lock onto enemies and use your equipped weapons, combos, and special abilities. Melee classes fight up close, while magic users cast spells from range. Crafting lives like Carpenter, Blacksmith, and Tailor play mini-games, where you time button presses to increase the quality of items you create. Gathering lives like Woodcutter, Miner, and Angler let you collect materials from specific resource nodes or fishing spots around the world. Each life has its own ranking system, from fledgling to legend, with challenges to complete that unlock new recipes, abilities, and gear.
Trails in the Sky first chapter introduces you to Estelle Bright and her adopted brother Joshua, who are training to become bracers, a guild of peacekeepers who help people across the kingdom of Liberal. When their father disappears on a mission, they travel to countries searching for him, while taking on bracer jobs and slowly uncovering a conspiracy threatening the entire nation. The story starts light, with the siblings helping townspeople and dealing with local issues, but gradually builds into political intrigue, involving neighboring countries, ancient technology called orbments, and a mysterious organization. Combat is turn-based tactical on a grid, where movement range, attack range, and positioning all matter for effectively using your party's abilities. The orbment system lets you customize each character by slotting different elemental quartz that provide stat bonuses and unlock arts, magic spells, based on which elements you combine. Craft abilities are unique to each character and don't require orbments. They use CP, that builds as you take and deal damage. The turn order is shown on the side of the screen, with bonus effects appearing on certain turns, so you can plan your actions to take advantage of healing turns or critical hit bonuses.
Monster Hunter Rise puts you in the role of a hunter, defending Kamara Village from the rampage, periodic monster attacks, threatening to destroy the village. The story involves investigating why these rampages are happening, and tracking down powerful elder dragons, causing the disturbances. But the real focus is on the core gameplay loop of hunting monsters, carving materials, and crafting better gear. Combat is action-based, with 14 weapon types that each play completely differently. Greatsword is slow, but deals massive damage. Dual blades are fast and mobile, bow lets you attack from range, and so on. Each weapon has its own combos, special moves, and mechanics to master. The wire bug system is new to Rise, and gives you mobility options like air dashes, wall runs, and weapon-specific silk bind attacks that use wire bug charges. You can bring 2 palamutes, rideable dogs, or palicos, cats, as companions that fight alongside you, heal you, or provide buffs. Hunts take place in large open maps where you track monsters using scout flies, break specific body parts for extra materials, and eventually defeat or capture them within a 50-minute time limit. The materials you carve get used to craft and upgrade armor sets and weapons, each providing different skills and resistances. Dragon Quest XI's follows a young man who discovers on his coming-of-age ceremony that he's the reborn Luminary, a legendary hero marked by a glowing symbol on his hand. Instead of celebration, he's branded a darkspawn by the kingdom's king and forced to flee as a fugitive, while learning about his destiny to defeat an ancient evil called Kalasmos. The story takes you across the massive world of Erdrea as you gather a party of allies, each with their own backstories and reasons for joining your quest, building toward an epic confrontation with the Dark One. Combat is traditional turn-based, where you select commands for your party, attack, cast spells, use abilities, or use items, with the option to switch to a more strategic mode that shows turn order and enemy targeting. Each character can progress through different skill trees by spending points earned from leveling up, letting you customize their abilities and unlock new moves. The Pep power system occasionally triggers when characters get fired up during battle, allowing powerful team-up attacks when multiple party members are pepped simultaneously. You'll explore towns, talk to NPCs, complete side quests, and search for treasure, while following the main story path.
Go on! You can do it!
Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake brings back the games that started the legendary JRPG series with a stunning visual overhaul, using the HD 2D style that blends pixel art characters with 3D environments and modern lighting effects. The first game follows the descendant of Erdrick on a quest to rescue Princess Gwaelin and defeat the Dragon Lord, who's terrorizing the kingdom of Alefgard, while Dragon Quest II expands the scope with 3 playable characters, the Prince of Middenhall, the Prince of Canik, and the Princess of Moonbrook, as they unite to stop the evil wizard Hargon from summoning the destruction god Malroth. Both games use traditional turn-based combat, where you select commands like attack, spell, or item for each character, with random encounters triggering as you explore the world map and dungeons. The remake modernizes the experience with quality of life improvements like auto-battle options, adjustable encounter rates, and a speed-up function that makes grinding less tedious. You'll level up by defeating enemies to gain experience points, find better equipment in shops and treasure chests, and learn new spells as you progress.
You, the hero, will be battling against multiple enemies. You will have to master a broad set of fighting skills and magic abilities to keep the burgeoning horde of horrific nasties from terrorizing Alefgard. You can approach combat in numerous ways, but a considered strategy.
Persona 5 Royal puts you in the shoes of a high school student who transfers to Tokyo after being falsely accused of assault, where he discovers the ability to enter the metaverse, a cognitive world where people's distorted desires take physical form as palaces. You form the Phantom Thieves with other students who've awakened to their personas, supernatural manifestations of their inner selves, and work to change the hearts of corrupt adults by stealing their twisted desires from their palaces. The game splits time between dungeon crawling through these palaces and living your daily life as a student in Tokyo, where every day matters, as you choose how to spend your limited time building relationships with confidants, studying to improve your knowledge stat, working part-time jobs, or exploring the city. Combat is turn-based with a focus on exploiting enemy weaknesses. Hitting a weakness with the right elemental attack or skill knocks the enemy down and grants you an extra turn. And knocking all enemies down lets you perform an all-out attack for massive damage. You can recruit enemy shadows as new personas by negotiating with them during battle, and fuse multiple personas together to create stronger ones with different abilities. Octopath Traveler II follows 8 new protagonists across the twin continents of Solistia, each with their own story, motivations, and path actions that let them interact with the world in unique ways. Oswald the Scholar can scrutinize NPCs for information, Throne the Thief can steal items, Temenos the Cleric can coerce people into revealing secrets, and so on. The stories range from a dancer seeking revenge for her mother's murder to a merchant building a trading empire. And while each character's tale is separate,
Their paths occasionally intersect, and you'll discover connections between their journeys. Combat uses a turn-based system with the break and boost mechanics. Enemies have shields with specific weaknesses, and hitting those weaknesses reduces their shield points until they break, stunning them and making them vulnerable to massive damage. The boost system lets you save up to 5 BP points during battle and spend them to power up your next action, whether that's attacking multiple times, increasing spell potency, or making your buffs last longer. Each character has a base job, like Warrior, Apothecary, or Hunter, and can equip a secondary job learned from guilds, letting you mix and match abilities for different strategies.
Here I come. My blade sings. Good.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 takes place in Ionios, a world where two nations, Kevas and Agnus, are locked in an endless war, with soldiers having lifespans of only 10 years before their time runs out in a homecoming ceremony. You control 6 characters, 3 from each nation, who become interlinked through a mysterious power, and discover that their world's conflict is built on lies, setting them on a journey to break the cycle and find the true enemy manipulating both sides. The real-time combat system lets you control one character while AI handles the others, with auto attacks happening automatically as you position yourself and manually activate Art's special abilities, with cooldown timers. Each character has a role, like attacker, defender, or healer, and you can switch between all 6 party members during battle to adapt to different situations. The class system lets any character learn and master different classes, inheriting their arts and skills even after switching to another class, creating deep customization options. Fusion arts let you combine 2 compatible arts into a single powerful attack. The Ouroboros system allows pairs of characters to transform into massive combined forms with their own set of powerful abilities and arts, acting as a limit break for tough encounters. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition arrives as an impressive adaptation of CD Projekt Red's vast open-world RPG. Players step into the role of V, a mercenary navigating the neon chaos of Night City, a sprawling metropolis ruled by ambition, betrayal, and chrome. This edition combines the base game and the Phantom Liberty expansion, offering a seamless experience packed with branching quests, customizable cyberware, and gritty street-level storytelling. The Switch 2 version brings visual and performance modes tailored for handheld or docked play, keeping the city's pulse alive without losing too much detail. Enhanced control options like gyro aiming, motion-sensitive melee combat, and Joy-Con precision add a layer of immersion that fits perfectly with portable play. While visual compromises are expected, the sheer scale, narrative depth, and reactive world remain intact. For players who crave a dynamic mix of shooter combat, stealth, and RPG decision-making, this Switch 2 edition captures the spirit of Cyberpunk's rebellion in a compact yet ambitious form.
Oh, I was worried I'd have to turn to farming.
And that's our top 25 best RPGs on Nintendo Switch. From massive open worlds to story-heavy JRPGs, the Switch has an incredible library of role-playing games that you can take anywhere. Which RPG is your favorite? Drop it in the comments below and let me know what games you think should have made the list. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.